up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at this 2016 Lamborghini Aventador LP750-4 Super Veloce, commonly known as the Aventador SV. Huge shout out and thank you to Lamborghini Charlotte. They're providing this car for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of brand new and pre-owned Lamborghinis, so if you're in the market for a car like that, they will definitely set you up. They have this one, they have a bunch of other cars in stock, a nice selection in the showroom, so definitely check out Lamborghini Charlotte. So this is the SV, finished off in Blu Cepheus, looks insane, has orange accents, carbon fiber, gloss black trim everywhere. This thing is an insane supercar. Let's get into it. The SV is one of the special edition Aventador models with a lot of track focus items throughout the vehicle. It weighs around 110 pounds less than the normal Aventador, has about 170% more downforce, and the aero efficiency is about 150% increased. This is a very track focused car with lightweight carbon fiber aspects, better downforce, more aggression, bucket seats, and a lighter weight interior, and of course has that classic V12. The Aventador SV features a 6.5-liter naturally aspirated 12-cylinder mid-mounted engine. It cranks out 740 horsepower at 8,400 RPM and 509 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 RPM. The engine is only paired to a 7-speed single-clutch automated manual transmission and sends the power to all four wheels, and where the curb weighed just around 4,000 pounds, you can expect to get 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds and a top speed at 217 miles an hour. The overall length is 190 inches with a wheelbase at 106. We have a width of 80 inches and an overall height of 45 inches. The SV comes standard with a set of carbon ceramic disc brakes in all four corners. They are drilled and ventilated. This has 6-piston brake calipers up front and 4-piston calipers in the rear. And then we have 20-inch wheels up front and 21s in the rear, all finished off with a gloss black mesh design and a center lock hub, and then all wrapped in a Pirelli P0 tire. This is probably one of the most aggressive designed cars out on the market. The front end features body-colored splitter in the center portion of the front bumper. There's also a satin black splitter in the lower portion of the bumper that extends from both sides of the front bumper. LED daytime running lights are standard with LED headlights. You can see the Y-shaped design in it, which is very traditional for modern Lamborghinis. You can see the shapes carry from the front bumper to the front bonnet lid, and there even is some dry carbon fiber on each side of the front lid. Everything flows to the side of the car with large arches around the front wheels, giving it an extremely wide and aggressive appearance. The side profile has that classic wedge-shaped design, which is very traditional for any Lamborghini. You can see how the front bonnet lid flows seamlessly to the front windshield to give it that design. There's a prominent body line behind the front wheel that goes right in between the door, all the way back to the SV logo on the rear. This has satin black mirror caps as well as more satin black trim in the lower side skirts. A massive vent is located right behind the door to allow maximum cooling to this V12 engine. We even get the LP750-4 SV badge down below and a heat extraction vent right in front of the rear wheel. Above the gas cap, there's 3 more intakes to allow more cooling to the engine, finished off in more dry carbon, and then more carbon fiber on the engine compartment as well as the spoiler. And then moving to the rear end of the car, you can see more of the dry carbon fiber in the rear diffuser. Even the struts for the spoiler go through the bodywork to the lower pieces beneath that. You can see the carbon fiber extend from one side to the other, as well as a body color trim piece in the center, and then a satin black rear diffuser with fins, and then your quad-tipped exhaust system. There's plenty of mesh in the rear end of the car to allow maximum heat extraction from the engine. You can even see inside to see all of the radiators as well as part of the exhaust system. We get a backup camera beneath the Lamborghini logo, and the overall exterior design flows very nicely to the rear with many angles, sharp lines, and fins to add all the aggression, and then finishing up with the LED taillights with the Y-shaped design. So there's a full look at the exterior of the Lamborghini Aventador SV. Comment down below, what do you guys think of this paintwork and what do you guys think of the SV? It is an insane car, super iconic, the color is amazing in person, and don't forget your comment will enter you in for a chance to win the GoPro at the end of the month, so definitely leave a comment to enter to win that. And now to go ahead and take a look at the interior, we have the key fob, just tapping the lower button for the unlock. The door handle is right beneath here, electronic actuator. It'll unlock the door. We can take a look at this insane interior. We have dry carbon, glossy carbon fiber everywhere, alcantara, and a little bit of leather accents as well. The interior door panel is finished off in glossy carbon fiber. We even have a leather strap finished off in orange to close the door. We have your lock and unlock as well as the mirror controls. Then taking a look at the interior, we have Aventador written out on the door sill, finished off with more carbon fiber. We can see part of the carbon fiber structure finished off right here in satin carbon. There's alcantara and stitching along the door sill, and this is the door release handle. These are single piece fixed bucket seats. They can only slide forward and back. Finished off in alcantara. The orange is all leather, and these sides are leather as well with all contrast stitching. We have gloss carbon fiber up top, Lamborghini stitched into the headrest. Very aggressive sport seats. They have a great look to them overall. And finishing up with the steering wheel. This has a flat bottom design with alcantara on the top and bottom, leather on the sides, and then a leather stripe on the top. On to stepping inside the Aventador SV. This has the classic scissor doors like all V12 Lamborghinis. You just grab the door handle, slides up very smooth, and then you can climb inside. And then once you're inside, you just grab the leather door handle and you can pull it down. And then once inside, all you do is flip up this red panel, foot on the brake, and we can start it up. And then behind the steering wheel, this has steering column mounted paddle shifters. They are very large. They feel very nice in the hands. On the left side, we have all of your headlight controls finished off in different toggle switches. They have a really nice feel to them. We have more black leather along the dash with one of the air vents. The one of 600 badges over there finished off in carbon fiber. And then we have alcantara along the dash with orange stitching and orange piping. There's carbon fiber around the entire gauge surround. Two more air vents are in the center with leather and Lamborghini over on the right side. We have carbon fiber in the center right here. And then all the toggle switches up here, the side ones are for the windows. If you pull it back, the window will go up, and then pulling it forward, the window will go down. We have the front end lift system, just pulling that back, the front end will lift. Traction control, hazards, the engine start-stop feature, and then all your climate controls are in the center. Very simple to use. You have the auto, the recirc. You can turn this dial for the fan speed, tapping the different zones. It'll come up on the screen. You have your different sport modes right here, a Strada, Sport, and Corsa. Just tapping the arrow, it'll go in between the different modes. Then all your navigation and infotainment system settings are right here. We have a return button right there. We can go and press the navigation button. The menu will come up. And then using these four buttons right here, you can tap that, go into the actual map on the screen. We have radio, media, all the other things. And then below that, we have your reverse button, electronic parking brake, and a manual button. There is no center console, but you have a nice armrest finished off in black leather and more alcantara and piping. A full alcantara behind the rear seats, and we can get a really good view out into the V12 engine. You can see all the carbon fiber slats. Then as we make our way to the ceiling, there's alcantara and black leather with more of the orange piping on and just finishing off the ceiling to look very nice. And then we'll go ahead and start up the engine one more time to take a look at the gauges. V12 roars to life. You can see the entire configuration. The SV has a yellow theme going for it. You can see the large tack in the center. And then toggling between the different modes, it'll change it up a little bit. Going into the sport mode, you can see it says ESC Sport. And then going into Corsa as well. We have a G meter in the center, your tach over on the right side, speedometer on the left side, and then temperatures and pressure on the right side. And then just scrolling through the mode button, we can go back to the gas level as well as the coolant temperature. And then as far as going into every gear, to put it into reverse with your foot on the brake, you just press the reverse button. Your backup camera will come up as well, and it'll tell you that you're in reverse. To go ahead and put it into drive, you just pull the right paddle. That'll put you into first gear. And then to go into neutral, which is hard to do holding a camera, you just pull both paddles together. And we're now into neutral, as you can see. As far as just sitting in the car, this is a hunkered down vehicle, as you can see with the visibility behind me. The mirrors seem to do a pretty good job, very low roof line. Definitely an aggressive view out, looking around through the Aventador. And then to exit the vehicle, when you slide your fingers in the front portion, the window will slide down, and then you just pull up the aluminum, bump it with your elbow a little bit, and the door will slide open. And then to go ahead and take a look at the front compartment, you just pull this lever right there. The front boot lid will pop open, and then just grabbing the handle on it, you can lift this right up. We have a decent amount of space in here. This shelf is there just for federal mandates, so this car doesn't have to have an emergency exit latch. But we have a little bit of space in here, and with this remove, which is very easy to do, you can fit a backpack or two. So it's actually pretty practical for the layout of it. And then behind the seats, I have it slid forward. You get a little bit more alcantara on the back. It's finished off with the rear in full carbon fiber. You have a little bit of a shelf back here, and then pulling this, that'll open up the bonnet lid to reveal the 12-cylinder engine. This is extremely lightweight, all made out of carbon fiber. You can see the carbon fiber on it. And then one last look at the interior from the passenger side. You can see all the leather and alcantara. All the orange accents have a great look, and I love how you can see the carbon fiber all the way into the floorboards. No carpeted on here. This is fully a race car. You can see the carbon fiber behind the exposed seat rails too, and then the carbon fiber seats. Definitely a beautiful look. Alright guys, it is now time to take the Aventador SV for a quick spin. So once again, huge shout out to Lamborghini Charlotte for providing this car for today's video. Definitely check them out. This is a pretty insane car, as you all know. We'll go ahead and fire up the V12. So we're in reverse starting off the test drive. You have to let the single clutch engage. So very similar to most single clutches. Putting it into first gear. You can feel the single clutch. It has that feeling to it. And just tapping the front end lift. You can do that while moving, which is a great touch. All right, getting out on the main road. The front end lift is definitely nice to have. And then I think it automatically will go down. Alright, so right now we are in automatic mode. You can feel it shifting a little bit like a single clutch is going to. A little bit of a delay. So just experiencing the SV in traffic like this, it is an aggressive looking car. Just looking out in every direction. The roof is super low. The mirrors actually do a really good job, so I can actually see out. And even though we have all those carbon fiber slats over the engine, I can actually see the car behind me very well. Over your right shoulder, it's a little bit compromised. Getting up and going, so that was getting into second gear. It takes a little bit of time, so you do have to let the single clutch do what it does. And then if we do hit the M button down here, that'll put us into manual mode. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it into sport mode as well, just to get a little bit more aggressive. And the turn signal stock, that is a little bit odd to do. It's lower than a normal car, but a quick little downshift. Steering is really tight. That is pretty nice. You can feel the gear changing a little bit, just like a single clutch. It's not super slow or jerky. It's actually pretty normal to drive as far as normal driving, just a little bit of a delay. I love how mechanical the car is feeling already. These bucket seats are rock hard. They are definitely race car seats. The suspension, this is a decent road run. It actually isn't jarring or backbreaking. It actually is decently smooth. The steering, I will say, is insanely tight. We're not even on, obviously, fast roads or anything, going about 45 miles an hour, but you just barely turn the steering wheel, and the car does everything you want. This is a track car, very focused for driving on the track. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to Corsa mode. I think that'll be a little bit more aggressive with the gear changes, and we'll do a little bit of an acceleration, just to get a feel. Oh, I love how the single clutch is. That V12 sounds insane too. For a half throttle, barely accelerating, you can feel so much horsepower, and I really wasn't expecting that, being kind of an old school naturally aspirated car. I'm so used to turbo cars with this kind of horsepower, but we're over 700 horsepower, so if you were to wring this thing out, this car has a lot of power, and it's just super linear the way it feels. But just driving it now, normal, it's decently tame, but still pretty wild, and that's the cool thing that I love about the Lamborghinis. They are not really, especially the SV, they're not normal cars. They're always aggressive and an exaggerated supercar. There's nothing about this that feels like a normal car. Everything right now, just the view, the tightness in the suspension, the steering, and the materials that you're looking at with carbon fiber, everything alcantara, all the colors, and this huge yellow digital display right in front of you, that is something else to see. And the V12 has some amazing sounds to it. So then bumping us back into Strada, and I believe we're in automatic mode now, just back to slower speed driving. It's really cool. It's definitely an insane car to drive. So one thing with most Lamborghinis, the windshield is very low, so you do have to lean a little bit down to see the light. But this is a sweet car, honestly. Just doing a little bit of acceleration now. You have to let it engage to get up and go. Such a tight car. The steering is awesome for being a big car, and just the throttle response and everything. Aventador SV, I could only imagine how, I think there's some exhaust pops on it, but I can only imagine how insane this thing would be out on the racetrack. But this is definitely the coolest car I've driven so far. And then to finish it up, we'll do one little acceleration from second gear. That V12 already just sounds so good. The horsepower, I'm actually like blown away that it's that quick, and this is like half throttle, but it really moves, and you can tell if you're just full throttling, this thing is just gonna go. Well guys, that is about going to wrap it up for the Aventador SV. Shout out again to Lamborghini Charlotte. Real quick, the front end lift, I love how you can be moving. This is an insane car, just getting to do a small drive like that. This seriously is something else. The acceleration, I was not expecting it to have that type of get up and go. But yeah, that is the Aventador SV. Huge shout out once again, Lamborghini Charlotte. Check them out. They have a huge selection of Lamborghinis. Definitely check them out. But that is going to wrap up the full review on the Aventador SV. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next video.